The impact of psychological factors on stock market participation among young investors in Sri Lanka. Moving on, Sri Lanka, as a developing economy in South Asia, relies on the stock exchange for financial growth and economic stability. However, there is a significant challenge, that is low stock market participation. To understand the severity of this issue, let's compare Sri Lanka to one of its regional counterparts, India. As per the 2022 CDS annual report, the Sri Lanka only 3.08% of the total population holds CDS accounts. Meanwhile, as per the Ahmed and others stated, in India, stock market participation is much higher, with market participation and traded value as share of GDP significantly surpassing Sri Lanka. This indicates that while other nations are strengthening their financial markets with diverse investor base, Sri Lanka continues to struggle with low engagement and liquidity issues. Moving on to the next slide. So, in my research, I am concerning about young participants. The lack of participation is not just a problem at a national level; it is even more concerning about young Sri Lankans. Young participation in the stock market. As per the media release on 31st December 2020, there is a notable shift occurred in 2020 with younger investors showing increased interest in the stock market. Almost half of the newly opened accounts belong to individuals aged 18 to 30, indicating a potential transformation in dynamics. But the shift contrasts with the traditionally dominant presence of the older investors. As per the information from Department of Census and Statistics, in 2022, young investor participation, young investors means as per the CDS classification, age 18 to 25 classified as young. So in Sri Lanka, particularly concerning with engaged level far below those observed in other economies. In 2022, the youth population accounted for approximately 7.44% of the total population, translating to 1.6 million individuals. However, based on the overall participation rate, the estimated number of young investors remain exceedingly low. The contrast, countries like Taiwan have witnessed a struggle in youth participation with nearly 40%. This stark disparity suggests that while global markets are seeing increased youth involvement due to technological advancement and accessibility, the Sri Lankans lags behind, limiting the in development of dynamic and diverse investor base. Moving on, why aren't Sri Lankans in why are not young Sri Lankans investing? Traditional explanation is financial literacy. Traditionally, the answer has been a lack of financial literacy. May assume that if people understood finance, they would invest. But research suggests this is not entirely true. Let's see further. The Financial Literacy Roadmap 2024-2028 highlights financial literacy further compounds this issue. As knowledge alone does not translate into active participation, while Sri Lankan youth demonstrate a reasonable understanding of financial concepts, their financial attitude scores remain below the global benchmark, reflecting a disconnect between awareness and actual investment behavior. As per Gamage, he has mentioned financial knowledge alone does not lead to actions. Many young people understand basic financial concepts. They know about stock market trends and investment opportunities. However, they still don't invest. Clearly, something deeper influencing in their behavior. Moving on. the psychological barriers to investment. So, what is really stopping young Sri Lankans from investing? As per Rashmi and Leena mentioned, behavioral finance research suggests that investment decisions shaped by psychological factors. And as Nadeem and others identified, there are three key psychological influences play a role, and mainly there are three variables. First one is money attitude. Money attitudes have four dimensions: money avoidance, money worship, money status, and money vigilance. Money worship means individuals have different attitudes regarding money. For example, some people like it a lot, like that way. Money avoidance means some people do not take interest in money. They believe that money is bad, that wealthy individuals are greedy and they don't deserve money. Money status means uh, people increase their status through money. Money vigilance means they consider money as sources of shame, like that way. So second variable is risk perception. Many young Sri Lankans fear market volatility, believing that the risk outweigh their benefits. Third one is financial knowledge. Even those financial knowledge may lack lack the confidence to invest, leading to hesitation and inaction. So actually, what does this means? This research shows that risk attitudes partially mediate the relationship between money attitudes and stock market participation. At the same time, financial knowledge moderate this relationship, meaning that even with the knowledge, individuals may still avoid investing due to fear and uncertainty. This is clearly identified by the Nadeem and all and others in 2020. They also mentioned that forms of foundation of and foundation is taken as their research taken as my foundation as well, as it highlights the financial behavior is not just about knowledge, it is about mindset and perception. Moving on to the next slide. So these are my research objectives. First one is to examine the impact of money attitudes on stock market participation among youth in Sri Lanka. Second one is to investigate moderating role of financial knowledge in the relationship between money attitudes and stock market participation. Third one is to investigate mediating effect of risk attitudes on the relationship between money attitude and stock market participation. So, moving on to the conceptual framework, my first hypothesis is there is significant impact of money attitude on the stock market participation of investors. Second hypothesis is financial knowledge moderate the relationship between money attitude and stock market participation. Third one is risk attitude mediate the relationship between money attitude and stock market participation. So, moving on, why, why does this research matters? By answering this question, my research will help financial institutions to develop better investment programs for youth. Second one is policymakers create targeted educational strategies that address psychological barriers, not just financial knowledge gaps. Third one is encourage more engaged and confident generation of investors. So this study is about more than finance. It's about behavior. So moving on, these are my references, and thank you.